Hello, this is Jennifer, your master encourager, with another segment of encouragement for your soul. That's right, encouragement for your soul. All right, today's segment is on get out of the boat. That's right, get out of the boat. I don't know if you remember the movie The Shack. Well, it's a part of the movie in The Shack where Matt is in the boat with Jesus. So I'm going to use that part of the movie because a place where I was in my life at the time, and God brought the movie back to me. And I don't know if you are in that place also right now, where Matt was in the boat. They had one out in the water, and Jesus was talking to Matt. And at one point in the movie, they were in the boat. And so Jesus got up out of the boat. He stepped out of the boat and he was standing on the water. He looked at Matt and he told Matt, "Come on." And at the part of the movie, Matt began to look at all the water around him. See, that's where I was in my life when it was time for me to get out of the boat. The only thing I can see was all the circumstances, all the chaos, everything that was going on around me. And what I do know is when God told me get out of the boat, I knew I didn't know not know how to swim. Now, I'm quite sure Matt knew how to swim in the movie. But I can remember Matt, and I felt this part of the movie so strongly. A lot of the movie, but this part because I was there. Matt was sitting in the boat. And see, the boat was safety for Matt. Matt knew the boat was a boat, and the boat was doing exactly what the boat was supposed to do: hold him up and sit in the water and make sure Matt didn't sink because it was a boat. It was built for that. So Matt had faith in the boat because it was kind of easy because that's what the boat was built for. So Jesus went on. He kept telling Matt, "Come on, you can do it." And every time Matt would look up and he'll look all around him at all the, probably for me, it was all the past failures, all the voices that you won't make it, all the things that look like I was sinking. So I don't know where you are in your life right now, but I know I didn't had the boat situation happen to me where the only thing I can see was water all around me, water of circumstances, water of fear, water of hopelessness, water of failure, water of I just can't get right. But study the Lord. He over and over, Jennifer, come, get out of the boat. And I can remember saying, "But Lord, I don't know how to swim." And that's when he said, "I never asked you to swim. I just asked you to get out of the boat." See, he's not asking you right now if you know how to swim or if the boat's gonna sink. No, just stand up and get out of the boat. All he wants you to do is put one foot forward. Just step out on faith. Same thing he was asking Matt. As Matt looked at all the water, he was saying, "Matt, I didn't ask you if you know how to swim. I didn't ask you if you were saying, just get out of the boat." And at this one point in the movie, when Jesus reached his hand out to Matt, and Matt looked at Jesus and had his eyes focused on the prize, which was Jesus, Matt was able, he stood up. And although the boat was a little shaky, it began to shake a little. And even at that point when Matt looked again, the water began to get dark. Because see, when you at that verge of faith that you finally said, "Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to get out the boat." I'm telling you, it gets a little harder. It gets dark. It gets a little weary. But don't let it set you back. You stand up and you stand on faith. And as Matt did, he grabbed hold of the hand. I know that song, take my hand, Lord, and lead me on. Though I grow weary and I may grow tired, Lord, I know if I'm holding your hand, I won't fall. So in this season, if you're in that boat and all you can see is the trouble around you, the weariness, the messiness of everything, stand up. God never asked you if you can swim. He just said, get out of the boat. He already know he's not going to let you drown. So whether the boat is that comfortable place where, you just want to sit, it's time to get uncomfortable. It is time to get out of that boat and walk on the water. This was my favorite part of the movie. When Matt grabbed his hand and he continued to focus on Jesus. Not only did Matt get out the boat and walk, they began to run across the water. Run across the water. I remember just sitting there watching the movie. I was like, oh my God. But that is who he is. When you put your trust and your faith in him, nothing is impossible for you. Nothing is possible for those who believe. For all things are possible with Christ. So whether it's that book he has called you to write, that business he has called you to start, or that ministry, or maybe a YouTube channel, or maybe it could be a blog, or babysitting, or to go talk to your neighbor, or to the person next to you about Christ, whatever it is he has called you to do. He's not asking you to do it alone. He's right there with you and he will not let you sink. Stand up. Just focus on Christ. Don't worry about if you don't know how to swim, because he ain't calling you to swim no more, baby. He is calling you to walk on the water. That's right. So if you don't know how to swim, don't worry about it. Walk on that situation. Walk on the water. No longer. Now you look at the water and the circumstance and say, No longer will you hold me down or feel like I'm drowning. I will stand up and I will walk on you. That's right. You use those waves that's coming in your life. Grab you a surfboard and you ride those waves of life. You do whatever it takes to get to Jesus. So, by faith, you can do it. 2 Corinthians 5:7 said, we walk by faith and not by sight. That's how you can walk on the water. That's how you're going to get the book. I understand. Lord, I got all this in my head, but how do I start it? Just start. Put pen to paper. Start. Lord, I don't know how. I know you showed me the business, but I don't know how to start. I don't know where to begin. Get out the boat. That's all he's asking you to do. He's just asking you to stand up. Take a foot out. Get out. I promise you, he won't let you drown. So in this season, whatever you start in this season, it's going to be necessary for the next season. So get out of the boat and start it now. For the next season coming, it will be necessary. So start that business. Start that channel. Start the ministry. Start that book. Start opening your mouth and spreading the good news. Start something. We all have a purpose, and we all have been designed for a purpose. So get started. Get out of the boat. It is time to be uncomfortable. The boat is comfort. Get out of the boat and walk on the water. Again, as always, I pray that God will meet you at your need. And that in this season, you will have revelation of who He is and who you are. That's right, who you are. Be encouraged. Get out of the boat and walk on the water, you water walker. God bless you. Next time, I'll see you with more encouragement for your soul.